Hello, everybody, and happy Wednesday. Happy holidays, Christmas, whatever it is for you or not. And also, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it may be. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Victoria Calvin here with Victoria Marie Designs, going live for our last Wednesday live of 2021. Had every intention of going live last week, but had some things come up, so I had to divert my attention. But I was going to be on today because I want to close out the year with our last live. I'm going to be making a holiday themed layout today. And so I'm glad that you're here. I'm going to be digging into my Hip Kit Club mega kit that I made last week. I recorded the video, posted it here on YouTube. So make sure you check that out. It was my December Hip Kit Club. Goodness, it's hard to say that fast. Hip Kit Club scrapbook kit that I get every month. And if you're like me, then you probably have scrapbook kits hanging around, and sometimes they pile up because we don't use them. And so I'm trying really, really hard to use my kits as much as I possibly can. And so sometimes what I do is I take the kits and I pull them together and I make one mega kit. I've done that with my Felicity Jane kit. I'm doing it with my Hip Kit Club kit. This one is specific to Christmas because I had some other things that I hadn't even used that I want to make sure that I put into this kit. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Hello to everyone who is here. Mary and Tina. Hello, Michelle. So glad you guys are here. Jeanette, Debbie, Ada, hello, Harriet. So glad you guys are here. We're going to hang out for just a second to see who else joins us. A couple of things before we get started today. If you're new to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel, welcome. So glad that you're here. I'm Victoria. And make sure that you subscribe when you do click the bell so YouTube will notify you anytime that I post content or go live here on this channel. Let me know how your holiday is going so far, or this time of year, whatever it is that you do. I know some people observe various different holidays because there's tons of holidays in the fall season going into the winter, not just Christmas. Here in the States, of course, we do have a lot of folks who observe Christmas, but we also have lots of people who observe other holidays and traditions, cultural and religious. So let me know how your holiday is going. Michelle said, boy, did I ever need that newsletter today. Oh, yes. So I have a newsletter that goes out twice a week for the most part, Wednesday and Friday. And usually I like to drop a little scrappy wisdoms or whatever, because I'm that poetic, in my newsletter. Today I talked about letting the season be enough, right? You've decorated enough. You've bought enough presents. You've done enough of the scrapbooking things you're going to do. You've done enough cards. Like, just let it be enough. And let's not stress about it. So those of you who are on my e-newsletter received that email today that came out at 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. So if you haven't checked your inbox, make sure that you do. Speaking of, let me do all of the call to actions before we get started on this layout. There's two announcements that I wanted to make before we get started. Number one, if you haven't heard already, I am I'm going to be teaching my year-long class. It's called Project Done. It is a year-long scrapbooking journey, an online class where we focus on getting a certain amount of scrapbook projects done within a 12-month period. This class is jam-packed with lots of great content. We have different monthly themes that are focused on getting over the hurdles that keep us from finishing, or at least getting our projects caught up. So things like project management, time management, the comparison trap. We have all kinds of fun themes that go on in the class. And while we're working through those themes, we're also working on our scrapbook projects, the things that we want to get done. So at the beginning of the class, in fact, we have students that are working on this right now who are currently enrolled. You identify the projects that you have. Just make a big old master list. We pare that down to the projects that you want to focus on in 2022. And then all throughout the year, you're going to be given the tools and support as well as content regarding different topics in terms of project management and that type of thing to help move the needle, to move you along to finally getting some of those scrapbook projects done. So if you want more information about this class, I did post a link down below in the description. Go check it out. It's $79.99, year-long class. You get live instructional content, you get recorded instructional content, you get a PDF workbook every month that includes interactive exercises. You'll have an opportunity to be a part of the Project Done community, and that's all in my online classroom through Thinkific. So you don't have to go to a separate Facebook group in order to participate in the Project Done community. You get access to that as an enrolled student in the class. We've had so many people that did a phenomenal job this year at getting projects done. For some folks, it wasn't so much getting projects done, but getting prepped and ready and getting into a different mindset as they move forward in 2022. We do have some returning students. This year was the first year off the class. And so it's just a really great way to really hyper focus on some projects and to get them done. So if you are interested in that, I post a link down below, so make sure you check that out. Number 2, the 2022 Rock Your Stash online virtual crops. I do still have that bundle available to you on sale at $79.99. Essentially, you get $2 off the 2022 rate for all of my online crops. Those aren't classes, they're scrapbooking crops. And so I host 10 of them in 2022. You come for the weekend. Or you stay at home for the weekend, but join us online. They're all online, and they're all challenges this year in not this year, but next year in 2022 that are focused on using your scrapbook stash. So all of the challenges that you do are about using your stash. So if you have a bunch of stash hanging around and you really need to use it, I'm not saying don't buy. I'm just saying we probably should use the stuff we already have. Then the crops may be something of interest to you. It's something that's very, very popular at Victoria Marie Designs. I started it during the pandemic. It's continued on, and we have a lot of fun. So there's 10 of the crops in 2022, all focused on using your stash. Within the crops, you have challenges, prizes, giveaways. We also do live Zoom scrap and chats. And new in 2022, I'll be offering little mini workshops, just one little mini workshop. I said plural. It's one little mini workshop per crop that's going to be focused on a specific topic about using your stash. So every month is a different theme. So we're going to be talking about paper stash and embellishments and using mixed media and all those good things. So each month's a different theme, so you can focus on pulling out your stash and using them to complete the challenges. And the cool part about it is that you don't have to complete the challenges in the crop weekend. You have 3 weeks after the crop weekend to participate in the challenges to be eligible for prizes. So it is completely flexible. The challenges are really flexible as well. I pick winners randomly. I use a website called random.org. That's how I pick winners for the challenges. And people post all kinds of creative inspiration. We have a lot of fun in the Zoom Scrap and Chats. We talk about everything under the sun. And it's a great way to stay at home, to relax, to participate in a scrapbook crop, particularly if you're not able to go to one in person, or maybe you live far away, you're not able to get to one. You can join us online. It's fantastic. So for more information about the Rock Your Stash online virtual crop bundle, that means you get 10 crops for one price of $79.99. Click on the link below. Question I've been asked, can we register for those crops individually? You absolutely can. So starting January 9th, I will open up registration, just a single registration for our January crop. However, the bundle sale ends on January 8th. So if you want that, you want to dig into the bundle sale or get into the bundle, check it out. The individual rate is $9.99, but if you buy the bundle, that drops it down to $7.99 per crop, but you pay one payment for all 10 in 2022. So more information about that, links posted in the description. I hope you will join me for these fantastic crops. I got a lot going on in 2022, so I hope we can all keep it straight. So Project Done is my online class. Rock Your Stash are the virtual crops. Not a class, just virtual crops. So for more information about those things, click on the links down below. And of course, all my socials and stuff are down below as well. Now, announcements are done. Linda says, I've already started making a list of projects. So excited. Yes, Linda is enrolled in the class. Fantastic. Cindy says, love Project Done. Helped me get so much done. Looking forward to next year. Cindy, I'm so glad that you're coming back. Fantastic. And the crops absolutely are a lot of fun. They're like, hey, Deb. She says, the crops are completely awesome. They are. We have so much fun. So much fun. In fact, our last crop was the holiday crafty party, and we had a couple of people win free Rock Your Stash bundle for 2022. That means they get 10 crops for free next year. I offered that as a prize, so we have some folks that are going to be able to do that for free. Alrighty, so I'm in the Christmas mood. I don't know about you guys. Christmas is my favorite holiday, and one of my favorite movies during the holiday season is The Grinch. I love The Grinch. I think he's kind of misunderstood a little bit. You know, he didn't ask to be bothered. He probably shouldn't have stolen Christmas, but he didn't ask to be bothered, right? The townspeople were a little bit crazy. So I kind of feel for the Grinch every now and then. I like, as some of you who've been following me for a while, I love themed things, and anytime that I can buy a themed t-shirt or a mug, I'm about it. So the scrapbook page I'm going to do today is called Christmas Christmas vibes, and it features a picture of me in my Grinch t-shirt as well as my Grinch mug. So I'm going to change my screen, and we're just going to get right into this layout. Let's see. Oh, let me go to the right place to do that. How about that, Victoria? All right, that's going to pop up here in just a second. So glad you guys are joining me today for our live. I know many of you have been joining me every week since I started doing the lives. In fact, I started doing the lives back in 2020 as a way for us to connect during this crazy time. And it just sort of continued on. And I'll continue on doing lives in 2022, and I'll talk about some differences, some changes that I'm making here on the channel. I'm still going to do the lives, but the schedule might be a little bit different going forward. Alrighty, so I have, first of all, my Hip Kit Club Mega Kit. I call it my Mega Kit because it has all my little holiday things that are all Hip Kit Club related. In the video that I posted last week, I showed you how one, I did an unboxing of this month's kit from Hip Kit Club. Two, I showed you how I put this together. So I'm using an iris container, and inside the iris container is an iris insert. I don't believe these iris inserts are sold anymore. I know a lot of people ask me about these divided inserts. I don't think they're available. You may be able to find them on Amazon, but that's a big if. Underneath that, I have my pattern paper, stickers and such, and then on top I have the divided organizer here with all the embellishments. I don't really have a plan in terms of what items I'm going to use yet, other than having a sketch in mind. I'm kind of thinking what I want to do is have my two photos at the bottom corner, right corner of the layout. I'll probably do some kind of double matte background situation, but I also want to use a lot of these embellishments. So I'll probably do a kind of a nice large cluster right here by the photos. There's also these pockets, and I think I'm going to take an opportunity to use this pocket, or use one of these pockets, to do some hidden journaling. And then I have my title that I think will go right up here in the white space of the layout. So let's see how we do today. If you are scrapbooking along with me today, please let me know what you're making. I know some of you are working. You're doing other things right now, right? So let me know what you're doing on this Wednesday as you watch me crop. I'm going to go ahead and get set up. Let me move this out the way real quick, and then I'll select some products that I want to use from my Mega Kit. Now, the reason why I like using a kit, there's a couple of reasons. One, the products are already coordinated for you. Two, I like combining the kits because you get more utility out of them. You can actually see what you have on hand, because it's kind of hard if you have the kits stacked up somewhere in your corner. You can't see what you have. So I try to put the kits together. And with a kit like Hip Kit Club kit, by the way, this is not sponsored. I'm just a longtime customer of Hip Kit Club. That's all. And I love their stuff, and I love the owners. I think they're very sweet. But when you put your kits together, a lot of times these kits coordinate in terms of color stories. So, like, I'm thinking Felicity Jane is one of those, where the color story is pretty defined in terms of like muted colors and things, and it has a nice, it's nicely complemented with black and white. So on the A side, you may see a pattern paper that is that has a lot of color, or maybe just muted colors, and on the B side, sometimes it's black and white. So these are the two photos I'm scrapbooking. These are printed 4x6 with a little bit of border around them. And here's me with my Grinch shirt that I've had for ages, and then my Grinch mug that I've had since 2014. I bought this mug at Barnes & Noble several years ago, and they had a whole line of really cute character mugs that I absolutely adored. I bought a Peanuts one, and a Charlie Brown Peanuts one, and then I bought the Grinch one. And so Grinchy has been in my cup collection for a very long time. Move this. How do I move this? There we go. Grinchy has been in my collection for a long time, and I just recently bought a new one too, because I absolutely love this. And I love watching the original movie, animated movie, and the Jim Carrey version of the Grinch. By far, I know some people didn't like it. I loved it. I thought he was so funny. He's a great character actor, and I thought if there's anybody who's going to play Grinch, it's going to be Jim Carrey, and I absolutely love it. So this is me in front of my Christmas tree with my Grinchy shirt and then my Grinchy cup. This is how I live during the holiday season. This is how geeked up I am about Christmas. Let me know if you're the same. So what I want to do is, I got a lot of green in here, and which is a good thing, because some of the papers and such in my collections here have some shade of green, so I think that'll be fantastic. And plus, green's pretty typical of a holiday color. So what I want to do first is I want to pull out some pattern paper, and I'm going to do a matted background. So I'm just going to slip this out. And what I'm looking for is a pattern paper that's subtle, and I'm looking for a pattern paper that's a little bit more bold. That's going to go with my photo. And I'm just going to have a little peeky peek here. Here's a green. That might be great for a background. So I'm just going to, you know, pick and choose here. I like sort of this plaid color. Ooh, that blue's pretty too. That might go here. And I'm just going to build out a background. And usually, this doesn't take me too long to do when I have an idea of what it is that I want to do. So I'm pulling out the base options, and that might be an option, and kind of a subtle option, because I do want my embellishments to pop on this page. That might be one. And then I'm also looking for pattern paper that I can use to mount my photos. So I've got a few options here. So let's just play around. Another thing I don't want to forget before I start cutting into my papers here is I have some scraps too. So I don't want to forget my scraps out of this little kit that I made. So let's see. Ooh, I like that. I'm going to set these to the side here. I'm going to put my full sheets away for just a second. All right, so I'm going to go with layer number 1. I think I buried my photos here too. And this is going to be a 12 by 12 inch layout, by the way. Hello, Margaret. What's going on? What's going on? Okay, so I have this green background. Very nice. I could pair that with this plaid if I want to. B-side of that is blue. But I want this to be a little bit more, more subtle for my second layer. I can come in with that. That might be just a little bit too much pattern than what I'm looking for. Here's another option. I think I really like this option too. And then there's this option with the polka dot. Oh, I may like that actually. I think I like the polka dot against the green. And I'm kind of leaning towards the green because I do have green in my shirt. And of course the Grinch is green, so why not? I don't always coordinate my photos with the color of my pattern paper. It just really depends on how I'm rolling that day. But in this case, I really like keeping that green color story because there is so much green in the photo. And, you know, it's about Grinch. So, Cindy says, I love my mug. I keep blending brushes in it. There you go. Fantastic. Let's see. Mrs. Crafty Makes says, finished up my semester of classes, one more class in the spring, and I'll have an associate's degree. Congratulations. Congratulations. That's so awesome. That is awesome. Now what I want to do is look for pattern paper to go behind my photo. So I like this red. Just kind of do a little pop of red there. And then his eyes are yellow. So I'm thinking I'll do a little pop of yellow behind the photo. So I think that's where I'm going to go. Oh, look at that. That's pretty. Okay, let me not get caught up in all the papers. So I think that's where I'm going to go in terms of my background. And this is usually how I start a layout. I get a lot of questions. What do you start with? Do you start with the story? Do you start with the background? Do you start with the design? Most of the time I'm going to start with the story, clearly. But as far as layout design, I'm always going to start with the background because that's going to kind of be set. That's kind of going to be the first anchor, right, of the layout. Okay, so let's go ahead and start putting this together. I'm going to move this out to the side. And I decided to whip out my Big Mama paper trimmer. This is from Tonic Studios. I forgot that I had this. This was in my closet. If you remember, I was talking about my Fiskars trimmer that just was not doing what I needed it to do. And the blades and stuff were just not working for me anymore. So I'm just going to use my big old Tonic paper trimmer to trim my papers down. So This one here, the base is going to be 12 by 12. And I typically wouldn't use this design since it's kind of busy. So I'm going to just layer on top of that, and I'm okay with it. If I wanted to preserve this, then I would gut the middle to preserve that in some way. Okay, so next up, let me trim this paper. I'm just going to line this up real quick. Love this trimmer. Trim this down. I do have a smaller version of the guillotine trimmers. And I'm going to go ahead and trim this down to 11 by 11 inches. I totally forgot I had this trimmer. It was sitting in my closet, and I recently cleaned out my craft closet. And I'm like, wait a minute. I have this trimmer I could be using. And I got it from Tonic when I was on the Tonic design team a few years ago. And I totally forgot about it. So I'm glad that I have it. So this is going to go like this. I'm going to go ahead and commit to that because, you know, we have no commitment issues here in this community. You're most welcome, Mrs. Crafty Mix. It takes a lot of work to get through college. A lot of work, a lot of dedication. I have a bachelor's and a master's degree in human development, and I stopped at my master's because I had enough at that point. I was burnt out when I finished my master's degree. All right, let's go ahead and get these photos mounted. Oh, before I do that, let me see if I have any little chunks of scrap. This one is, nope, that's too small. No, I guess not. I think they might all be a little bit too small or not the color that I need. So that's okay. At least I looked at the scraps, just in case. Maybe I'll use those for something else down the road. So I'm going to take this piece here. Well, this is a scrap, I guess, because I've already cut into it. And let's get that mounted here. There we go. Going to get that trimmed out just to add a little pop of color. Is this too wide? It might be too wide. Yeah, might have to cut that. There we go. Alrighty. Let me stick this into my other Tonic trimmer. And I use this one for smaller jobs like, you know, trimming around photos. Add a little pop of red to there. Okay. That one's done. Let me add that to my little scrap pile here. And what I like to do with my paper scraps is not only use them on scrapbook projects, but dig into them to make cards and such. Kind of trim this out just a little bit. Let's see here. You can also make some 3x4 pocket cards for your pocket pages, for your memory planners, right? So many ways that we can use like scraps. There we go. And trim that out. Okay, we're good to go. There. So we've got our background. We've got our photos. Let's look at where these photos are going to go. I'm going to put them right here. I think that looks good. And I could have scaled the photos down a little bit smaller, but that's okay. Now, next thing I want to do is make sure that I have a home for my journaling. So in my little kit, there's several pockets that you can use, or that I have available to me to use. And I'm just going to go through and see which ones I want to use. Those are tags. Here's a pocket. Here's a pocket. Here's a pocket. Maybe I'll do something like that. And then slip a tag in. Like this. I don't really care about the design here because I kind of want it behind my photo. This one kind of closes like that, which is really cute. And the other ones are kind of small. There is this one as well that I could put like right here. And then slip in a tag if I wanted to, or make my own. But I really think I like this one because this one gives me a little bit more space, and I'll be doing some journaling off camera. So I think what I'm going to do is just do some hidden journaling here and decide where I want the tag. Now, here's where I have to make a change. I'm making a changes live on our Wednesday live. Okay, so here's where I have to make a change. Because my photos are 4x6, when I originally designed this, or semi-designed it, I had planned for the photos to be a little bit smaller, but I printed them 4x6. And I wanted them smaller, so I had a space to cluster them here, but have a lot of room to do some embellishing to come out here. So I'm going to have to change it up a little bit because clearly I don't have that space available to me. So let's just go ahead and maybe do a little something like this. And probably use this space here because I'm not married to this little design here on the little pocket, is to do some embellishing there. Maybe I'll move it up. Kind of like it down too. Okay, let's see where we're going to go with that. Okay, so now what I want to do is, it's not like I have a shortage of embellishments here. I do like these little bows. I thought about using one of these bows. You just construct them like this, which is really cute, and then wrap the little thing around it. So I'm thinking I might put something like this here on the layout. Let me see, can I layer them? I probably could. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so let's get some clusters worked out here. So I got a lot of things that I can work with, and I'm kind of feeling like this needs to be kind of a focal point cluster, perhaps. If I'm going to put this here, maybe I'll put it down here. I don't know where I want to put it. Okay, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Jennifer says, I love hidden journaling on the page, but can never decide how to make it accessible to the reader. What do you do? So, hey Barb, what's going on? What you can do is call your attention to the hidden journaling. So sometimes I'll make a tag and I'll have a pull that says pull here or read this or something like that, that calls attention to pulling it out in some way. So sometimes giving the reader a direction to do that. Particularly if your journaling is right here at the top of the page, I can just simply, slip it out. But adding some type of direction to your hidden journaling so that it cues them that they can pull it and read it. That may not always work. Sometimes people don't want to mess up your page by pulling it out. So just encouraging them that they can actually, interact with the journaling in some way. There is a way that you can, and I forget the name of the product, but you can adhere, you can have these pockets on the outside of your page protector. And so it can flip up. So you can do sort of an interactive thing outside of it so they automatically know that they can read it versus putting their hand inside the page protector and pulling out the journaling. Let me know in the comments what it's like you can do these outside pockets, like they're kind of like page protector style pockets, but it's on the outside and you can adhere them to just a regular scrapbook pocket page. I forget what they're called. You can, sometimes I've cut the page protector. There is a layout that I made years ago and I was inspired by Shamil Lane. And what she did was she had a whole bunch of large tags with journaling, and she cut a slit at the top of her page protector. So, and took the tags that are meant to be read and slipped them on the outside. So part of the page was protected by the page protector, but the element that she wanted people to read and interact with was on the outside. She made room to be able to bring that out on the outside. So depending on the design, I have cut the page protector, a little slit, so people can interact with it. Absolutely. Michelle says she's cut hers. The fuse tool to do that. And then, oh yes, thank you, Sarah. She uses the fuse tool and then does the flaps on the outside. Page flaps, Jim, I think that's what it's called. Page flaps or photo flap pocket, something like that. Yeah. So that might be something that you try in terms of making your journaling a little bit more interactive. Okay, so I am going to take a look at, my little tray is not around because it's currently being used. me take a look at some of these embellishments here. There's a lot of Home Sweet Home and that type of thing. Nothing related to Grinch. It's a Grinchy poo. That's okay. We're just going to make some things work out of what we have. Let me also look so I don't forget. I got a bunch of stickers and such as well. And then, of course, I need my font stickers. So I think I'm going to do definitely some enamel dots. Maybe some of these, some of those. Just digging out some things that I think I might use. No rhyme or reason, I'm just grabbing things. All right, so I kind of have an idea. So I'm going to create a cluster, and what I want to do is start out by creating an anchor. Close to My Heart has, are they from Close to My Heart? The pocket flaps? Is that what you're referring to, Debbie? Simple Stories makes them too, says Mary. Yeah, I remember that now. Okay, so here are these frames, and I love, love, love their frames. And I'm thinking I can start out with a frame of some sort right down here and then add some other embellishments, and that's a really good anchor. But I do want to mount this on something. So maybe some pattern paper. Let me grab my pattern paper scraps and kind of see what I want to put and back this behind. I'm thinking I want a little bit of that black and white. I really, really like that. I'm going to do that. I could have easily turned this into a shaker. I could have done a lot of things, put some vellum, backed it with vellum. I'm just going to do pattern paper to add a little bit of character here and to use up some of these paper scraps. So I'm just going to trim around here. And that doesn't have to be like perfect. So I'm just going to slice right in here and just, you know, cut it out. There we go. I love how that looks with the black and white. And as I mentioned in a lot of my videos and going live, that black and white or neutral colors, black and white, grays, creams, or your basic neutral colors, I should say brown, are great grounding colors when you have a lot of color on a layout. Okay, so I'm liking that. That's cute. Okay. And let's see. I'll set those to the side. And at this point, I haven't decided yet where I want the photos to be. Patricia says, I have the hardest time with frames, especially oval. You know, oval's not always my favorite shape, but I do like it when it has an element on it, like a flower or something like that. Close to My Heart is called Flip Flaps, by the way. I think someone else had it. Flip Flaps, yeah. Thank you. See? We all come together to help each other out and enable each other. Alrighty, so I'm thinking what I want to do is I think I want to move this up and then add the title and maybe do something down here. Add something that's going to ground that just a little bit. And then maybe add some, I don't know. No, I don't like that either. Maybe I'll go back to my original idea. I just like the idea of this all being compact in some way. With my title there. And And I'm just fooling around with it. Sometimes you just got to fool around with it to see if it's going to work for you. I'm going to pull out some other little embellishments here and see what I've got. I'm looking for something that's a bit larger in scale. Look at that funny sweater. That's cute. That has nothing to do with Grinch, but I could definitely use it as an anchor. Ah, look at that little car. That's adorable. And maybe bring some blue in because I have blue over here. Little flower situation. Little greenery situation. Just kind of framing this out. Let's see. Again, no rhyme or reason. I'm just spitballing right now. I had somewhat of a plan, but I had to change it, and that's okay. Slightly, that is. Well, pooh. Sometimes you just don't know. Let's see. I'm thinking I might forego the hidden journaling plan and do something else. Ba, 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 ba. We'll make it work. We will make it work. Now this is completely what happens when, oh, that's pretty. When I kind of make a boo-boo, like, okay, I'm kind of liking where this is going. My initial plan was to scale down the photos, and then I didn't do that. So now I'm having to start with a different plan to make this work. But I'm kind of liking where this is going at this point. I love this blue flower. Kind of use some of that white space there. In the frame. Sometimes you don't know where you're going until you get there. Okay, all right, I think we're cooking with fire here, folks. Let's see. Ah, there we go. One of the reasons why I like doing lives is that I can demonstrate that it may all look great in a process video, but sometimes it doesn't always come together. And sometimes you guys don't get to see that behind the scenes situation when we're stuck. I was recently watching a live with Christina Werner, and she got stuck on a card design, and she reached out to another card maker and friend, Kathy Zilski, and brought her on, was like, Kathy, help, I can't figure out this design. And I think that was a great moment in demonstrating that sometimes it doesn't always work. And you gotta sort of work your way around it. Okay, so this is looking kind of cute. Trying to decide what else I would want on there. Okay, there may be some other elements too. I don't want to get so totally stuck on just flowers. That's kind of cute. Don't know where I'd put that. Oh, that's cute. That's fun. Okay. I like this little TV, this little vintage TV. How cute is that? I do like to watch Grinch. Maybe I can work that in somehow. I wish it was a tiny bit smaller because I would put it right there in the middle. Let me see, do I have any other icon like that that may be tiny? No, I don't. I thought I did. I really want to use this. Ooh, maybe I'll put it right here. That's kind of cute. Okay, okay. So we may be going somewhere with this. It's another one of these banners. I think I kind of like the green one better. It says Mary. Now, here's what I realize. I tend to, when I don't have specific idea in mind for a layout, I tend to default to my tried and true design. And I'm here to tell you there's nothing wrong with that at all. Because sometimes you just need to get it going. This is the first layout that I'm making of the day. And if I use my default tried and true techniques just to get it done, that's what I'm going to do. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm kind of liking how this is looking. I like the arrangement too, yes. Now I need to figure out, I'm gonna put my title here and journaling here. I kind of like this little cluster of trees, but I also kind of like this here too. Kind of like the idea of it going here as well. That presents a little bit of trap space that's right there. Maybe I have to be okay with that if I wanted that there. Then I could bring in the trees. I felt that putting a banner here, if I put the trees here, would make it unbalanced. All right, now I'm just trying to figure it all out. Let's see, let's do maybe these trees here. Okay, so I'm thinking this is where I'm gonna go. I think this is what is gonna happen. Okay, so let's move this, and this, and this. And let's get the photos adhered. That took me a minute, but we're gonna work it out. Let's also add, you guessed it, some foam behind there. Oh, good grief. I'm gonna do some of this foam. Trim it down. This is just fun foam. Grab you a pack at your craft and hobby store, make it do what it do. So anyway, sometimes you have the default designs that you go to, particularly if you're trying to get scrapbook projects or scrapbook layouts done. Sometimes I'll default to my go-to designs when I'm making, or when I'm just kind of starting scrapbooking for the day. Like right now, this is the first project that I made today, so this is kind of my warm-up, and I'm okay with that. I've become more okay with my default design style because not every layout is going to be like this original work of art. Sometimes you just want to create and play with product, and so that's what today is all about. Creating and playing with product. And then if I want to get fancy, then I can get super fancy if I want to. But one of the things that, and I talked about this in my Project Done class, is that over the years you develop a specific style, right? That default, and it's okay. It is okay to do that. And then when you feel up to it, try something new, try something different. I have a layout planned that I'm going to film where I'm doing a tiny bit of mixed media and stamping in the background to make a unique background. And then there's a couple other things I'm going to do. I'm going to bust out my sewing machine and do some of those things, which are fun. So lots of opportunities, right, to play and explore. So if you feel like, oh, I always do the same layout all the time, it's okay. It's okay. All right, I'm adding some double-sided adhesive to this fun foam. I like using the fun foam because it's not too two-dimensional, and it comes in clutch when you run out of your regular foam. You can also use scraps of pattern paper or scraps of solid cardstock. All those scraps, you can use that to add dimension behind your elements as well. That's more of an eco-friendly way of doing that. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to put this right here. Totally different from what I originally planned, but that's okay. That's all right. Okay, so I'm going to need a little bit of foam here at the bottom of the frame. Frames don't always have to be used for things like photos and stuff. You can use them to create embellishments or as an anchor. That's usually how I like to use frames. Then we're going to put the little Merry Christmas TV on here. Look how cute is that TV? It's a little vintage TV. That's so adorable. I'm trying to decide if I want to pop it up and add a tiny bit more dimension, and I think I might. Let's bring this guy over. Little flower situation. And we'll probably have to pop him up too. So let's do, yeah, let's go ahead and stick with the foam. Oh, I love die cut so much. I have a ton of these things as well. All right, so I think what I want to do is kind of do something like that. Yeah, let's do that. There we go. Let me know in the chat, what crafty projects are you working on this season? Are you working on cards, layouts, December daily? What you working on? Let me know. I'm going to stick this guy right here. Oh, I just love that little TV. It's so cute. And then just pop that flower, just tuck underneath. Using all the die cuts, because why not? Maybe stick this yellow piece down here. There we go. And then we'll come up here. I'm going to utilize the white space here at the top of the photo, just a little tiny bit of white space here, and add some florals there. Let's do a little pop-up with some foam. Sarah says, I am trying, oh, Vicky don't here and try to talk some book. I am trying out Journal Your Christmas for the first time. Oh, how's that going? I hope it's going well for you. Cards for now, says Paper Beats Rock Designs. Fantastic. Mary says, oh, are you talking about the little die cut, the little joy maker thingy, whatever it's called from Cricut, and testing it to make cards? Jeanette says, both cards and scrapbooking. Carrie says, December Daily, a little chipboard mini books to give to the fam and to scrapbooking tools. That's fantastic. That is awesome. Oh, that might have been a little bit higher than what I wanted. Nope. Okay, I think I'm going to do, let me know what holiday projects are you into or working on this year. Okay, I think I'm going to put that there. Try not to overthink this. Just make the layout, Victoria. Just make the layout. Because see, when you start overthinking, that's when it all gets derailed. Alrighty. Then this, I wanted to put here. Let's see, finished cards. So back to scrapping, says Barb. Gemma says, yep, I've made cards too. No December Daily. You cannot do all the things. You cannot do all the things. Just caught up on the videos last night. Finished my first prompt today. Last few months have been crazy busy, I bet. You know, the holiday season is always, I think we put a lot on ourselves for sure. To to do all the things when really, you know, having the time to just slow down and relax and enjoy friends and family and eating and watching movies and whatever it is that you enjoy doing this time of year, vacationing or whatnot, instead of putting stress and undue stress on ourselves, right? This month it can be pretty crazy. All right, so I think, oh, I'm gonna have to remove that one. So I'm gonna pop up this banner with a little bit of foam and just gonna stick that right underneath the photo. And now it will have nothing to do with the title, but I just like the look of the banner. Hey Stephanie, what's going on? She says, finally got a live session. Hey, what's going on? So glad. Thanks, Jeanette. She says, awesome layout. Thank you so much. I didn't know where this was going, and I still don't, but it's going to be what it is today. It's going to be enough. It's going to be enough. Okay, so let me go ahead and get to the punchline here because we're almost out of time. I'm going to put these two little trees down here, but I also want to make sure that I have room for my title. Now, this layout went completely different than what I had originally planned, but that's okay. I'm going to spell out Christmas vibes. I want to use 2 different font stickers to do that. And then I'm going to add in some finishing elements, and then we're going to be done with this layout. I'm going to come in with some black stickers. See, look at all this that I have left. I'm thinking I do want to add something here and maybe something up there. I'm not quite sure yet, so we'll come back to that. All right. Sometimes when you're not sure, you're just not sure. Watching with a cup of tea from the UK. Oh, that's fantastic, Stephanie. Cheers. Enjoy your cup of tea. Tea sounds really good right now. All right. Title, Christmas vibes. Let's see if we can do it here. This is why I want to hold off on putting these little Christmas trees down. So I want to make sure I have enough room for my title. And then I'm going to have to add the journaling off camera because I changed up what I was originally going to do, which was to do hidden journaling with this pocket. I now have another idea that I want to do for that pocket. So I'm just going to set that to the side. No big deal. Can always come back to it. Not like it's going to go anywhere. And I'm going to spell, or I am spelling out Christmas and hoping that I have enough room for that. I have some, I think I might have some English breakfast tea waiting for me in my little tea drawer in my kitchen. I might have a cup of that this afternoon. Or maybe iced tea, because here in Texas, it's like 70 plus degrees right now, and it's humid and super windy. Hi, Ina. How are you? She's watching while she's working. That's right. If anybody asks, you're at a staff meeting. That's what we call our lives. I don't know. I might have to have some iced tea, because it's kind of hot. Kind of hot. And then I see people posting pictures of it snowing in other places, and I'm a little jealous. The Southern girl, always jealous of snowy areas. And I know some people are like, well, if you lived here, you probably wouldn't like it that much. I love the snow. I think it's fabulous. Ronnie said she can't remember the last time she made a Christmas layout. Well, maybe this year is the year. Thank you so much. Maybe this year is the year to make a Christmas layout. All right, Victoria, let's speed this up. It's so hot here. It's really, really hot. And we've had lots of wind, and so I have 2 little Santa Claus things that are on my porch, and I have had to put them in the garage because they were getting ready to blow away. All right. Well, I might not have room for these 2 little trees. I might have to do something else. Having to move this over. This is why, here, let's do this. This is why I like to start with the last letters first and then move backwards. That's what I should have done. All right, let's do the S. Where do I want that at? Okay. How do you spell Christmas? We know how to spell Christmas. Yep, that's Texas. Yep. Hope we don't get another snowfall. You know, I didn't mind the snowfall. What I was really concerned with is the fact that our electric grid was not prepared for such weather. And Texas has since had to remedy that. For those of you who may not know, we had really, really bad, well, we had snowy conditions, clearly. We had a huge snowstorm. And the power grid was not prepared for it. And so we had several communities with people without power. There were some fatalities, which was really sad. And it took weeks to fix the grid. Meanwhile, people were being charged thousands of dollars in electric bills. And so the Texas legislature had to look into that issue and come up with a solution. And so hopefully, we're hoping, now that the infrastructure is safe, the power grid is safe, so should we have another crazy little storm, that people are not without power. So that was insane. In my area, the only thing we had to deal with was water contamination because our water filtration system went down in the city and they didn't know for how long. So for a few days we were boiling water. So that was fun. That was fun. Not where you're at, Mary, no update. Most people here don't have gas. Oh no, that's not good. Tina says, it was terrible. We didn't have power for days. Yeah, it was very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. And depending on where you were, depending on what power, if you had power or not, because there's huge swaths of the state that did not have power at all, or water, or whatever. Anyway, so hopefully, they will be prepared in the future. Hopefully. My expectation of snow is a Hallmark movie snow. That's my expectation. I want my snow days to look like Hallmark. In a small town, right? Cookies, baking, beautifully decorated home. That's what I want. That's what I dream of. All right, so I'm going to spell vibes with another font sticker. This was from the Merry Everything collection. And then I have to decide if I'm going to add another cluster. So I think I'm going to put it here where the S's line up. Let's see how that looks. Tina says, I wouldn't have been as upset, but I have 3 kids. One was only 4 months old. Luckily, we have a fireplace. Oh, goodness, yes. Yes. Always concerning when you have little ones at home, for sure. Hey, happy scrapbooker. She says, Hallmark snow. Yes, Hallmark snow. Absolutely. It always looks so perfect. And I know Hallmark films a lot of its movies in Canada. Some beautiful picturesque scenes, and they film in other places too here in the States, but it always just looks so perfect. And I know some of it may be brought in snow or that type of thing. Uh-oh, do I not have a I? I hate when that happens. Do I not have an uppercase I? Yes, I do. It's right here, Victoria. Just look at your letters. I know we have some of our community members that live in Canada that have, depending on what part of Canada they're in, have had Hallmark film in their town. So I think that's pretty cool. I would definitely, roll up and be like, can I be an extra? I agreed to, I'd rather be watching it on TV. Yeah. Alrighty. So there we go. I'm going to leave some space here for some journaling, trying to decide if maybe I'll bring my little Christmas trees over here. Or maybe just one, and then something else. Let's see. Do I have a small little cluster of flower, maybe? I kind of feel like it needs a little... Oh, this is nice with the candle. Okay, I'm gonna have to let the tree go. That was just a fleeting thought. Or maybe I'll just put the tree. Oh, maybe I'll put the tree there and then put this little candle there. Okay, folks, I think it's coming together. Again, default design. I'm just gonna roll with it because that's just where it's at. Let me finish this out, and then we'll be done with our Wednesday live for tonight or for today. Okay. I'm just gonna add a little bit of foam and some adhesive here. Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate that. I think my focus today was to use these die cuts and stuff because there's just so many of them. I have a ton of them. I like kind of this, that black. Okay, let's see, what else do I have? Oh, that's sticking to me. Just bring in some enamel dots because it's not a Victoria Marie layout without some enamel dots, my friends. I'm looking through my little stash here to see if there's anything else that I want to put. Okay, let me get this tree down because I really like that. I'm going to stick that there. Okay, journaling is going to go somewhere here. I'm going to take this little puffy sticker sheet. I like this tab that says December. Thought about putting that somewhere. Do I want that here? Maybe here. Kind of like that there. Okay. I wish there was something like, most of the Christmas things are all, happy Merry Christmas and enjoy the season and blah, blah, blah. We need more things that say like, Christmas sucks or something, bah humbug, some other things that are a little bit more, because Christmas isn't always happy and cheery all the time, I'm a pretty happy and cheery person, but sometimes, you just got to keep it real. I'm trying to find something that's going to go here. I thought about doing one of these bows, but that might be a little bit too much competing with this little flower. I just need a little something there. Nope. Or maybe not at all if I can't figure it out. What about wood veneer? These wood veneer pieces. I love this Christmas tree. It's so pretty. Could be an ornament too. Maybe this little present. Ooh, I like that. That's nice. These are adhesive back, but the adhesive is staying on the acetate, and that's okay with me. It's okay. It can stay there. That's fine. I'm not going to fight it. I kind of like the addition of the wood veneer. I kind of want it in all clusters. And all the clusters. Oh, of course, the adhesive comes out from that one. Why not? Maybe layer that on top of there. Now, that's looking a little too heavy. I love the added texture, but not at the expense of it looking too heavy. I love that little wood veneer piece there, though. Let me see. Let me keep looking. Because, sometimes it's just not the right thing. Sometimes you need something else. Snowflake, maybe? Let's see. That might be the closest thing I have to snow this year. It was this little puffy snowflake. That sounded dramatic, but that's the truth. That's kind of cute, but it also looks like it's competing against that black and white. Okay, well, I'm going to have to let it go for now because I don't want to overthink it. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Not like I have a shortage of things. Clearly, we know that. Well, let's see. If not that, I wish I had like a little something. I don't know. Do you glue those with extra adhesive? I have a layout forms with many moons ago, and they're just floating around. Yes, I'd recommend, particularly depending on where you're at, chipboard, wood veneer, any of these things, is to use some extra adhesive on the back of them because they do tend to fall off sometimes. Absolutely. Could use that. Or only scrapbookers know this, identify with this. Like, it's that last little bit that you're trying to, here we go. That last little bit that you need. Little house. Bam. There we go. There it is. Okay. So, let's add a tiny bit of sparkle here to this layout, and then we're going to call it done. And the only thing I have to do is add the journaling. I tend to use extra adhesive when I'm using my stickers, the chipboard stickers that is, and then any other chipboard pieces. This one has a good solid amount of adhesive on it. It has strong adhesive. That's what I love about Hip Kit Club chipboard pieces, is the adhesive is super strong, so it should stay on. But some other products, not so much. Not so much. Okay, so I'm going to add just a teeny bit, a little sparkly spark right over here. That's a technical term, by the way, sparkity spark. How about some sparkity spark down here? Bam. And then maybe some over here. Just because, you know, it's Christmas and that's what we do. Okay. Let's call that done. 3 clusters, layered up. Lots of color, texture, dimension. This is how I roll. And we are done with today's project. So let me hold this up. Started with, thank you so much, Mary. Started with the green pattern paper as the base. Layered on, I can't talk. Layered in 11 by 11 piece of this more subtle pattern paper. This has sort of grayish dots in the back. Mounted my photos with some pattern paper as well. And then created a cluster. This was totally not my original design, but I defaulted to a design that I do a lot, and that is, of course, to create clusters in a visual triangle in some way. Added my title down here. Thought I was going to do some hidden journaling with that pocket, but it just wasn't working out. This is one reason why I like making my photos smaller, because it gives me a lot more real estate on the page to do some things. But I really, really love the way that this came out ultimately. I like the metallic details in these die cuts. It just makes it even more festive. And even though my photo has a lot of green, it doesn't scream overly green either, even though I have a lot of elements on here that are green, and then the background paper that's green as well. Added in the blue with the frame, a little bit of yellow to make it pop, because of course Grinch's eyes are yellow, and this mug's kind of a greenish yellow as well. And I think this all came together very nicely. The only thing I'm going to add to this is some journaling down here, just some small journaling, not a whole lot. This is not like a huge big story that I'm documenting. Just, you know, this is kind of my vibe for Christmas. And I'll probably type that up and print it on vellum, and then put it here on the page in some way. But that is my layout for today using my Hip Kit Club Mega Kit. So I combined all of my Hip Kit Club holiday kits, my recent ones that I have available to me, into one kit. And so I'm using products from various different, or the 2 or 3 kits, I think I have 3 kits in total that I mixed together on this layout. So, and it all works well together. All right, thank you so much for your comments about the project today. I need to make Hip Kit Club Mega Kit. Yes, absolutely. This is a really great way to be able to use your stash to not pile up your kits. So if you find that you're not using your kits from month to month, pull them all out and make a big kit, or have a station in your Scrappy space where you have all these items ready to go, or maybe make page kits from different elements from those kits. You can combine them together, whether by theme, by color story, or whatnot, and get some utility out of all of those materials and start using your kits. Because you pay money for it, so you might as well use the product. I'm so glad you attended the staff meeting today as well, Debbie. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. So you love it, festive layout, love it, super cute. Thank you so much. All right, before we go today, make sure, give this live a thumbs up. Let YouTube know that you enjoyed your time here today, because I certainly have. Make sure you join me. The rest of the month, I'll be posting recorded video content, so we won't go live again until January. So I'll definitely be posting that. Sign up for the Victoria Marie eNewsletter so you can stay in the know of everything that's going on here at Victoria Marie Designs. Also, if you are into or you desire to make some progress on your scrapbook projects next year, consider consider enrolling in the Victoria Marie Project Done class. We're doing this for our second year. We're going to have a lot of fun in this class. More details are available. I posted a link down below. And if you like online scrapbooking crops, come join us in 2022. I'm hosting 10 crops. Rock your stash. That's the theme. Every single crop next year will be about using your stash, and we'll have a specific theme per month to get you focused on using your paper, your embellishments, your tools, your machines, all those things. So let's get ready to rock our stash in 2022. For more information, that link is also posted in the description. Guys, I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous holiday wherever you are, wherever you may be doing this holiday season. Take some time for yourself. Take some time to do the scrappy projects. Take some time to do your cards. No one's rushing you. You are enough. Enjoy the season. And as always, thank you so much for your support of myself, of Victoria Marie Designs, and for hanging out. If you haven't joined the Victoria Marie Facebook group, make sure you do that. That link's also posted as well. And I will see you guys next year live. And of course, if you join me in my other communities, then I'll see you there. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. Bye-bye.